is my tutorial on the Virindi window tool. I've noticed some people maybe have a hard time navigating their way through dungeons, and the way I have my my stuff set up is it makes it pretty easy to navigate my way through anything. This right here is an example of just a messed up screen. Let's say you haven't been playing the game for a while, you come back in, everything's jumbled up. This probably would never happen, but hey. So Virindi window tool is normally the last option down here at the bottom. Click on that, it allows you to save profiles. So basically you can resize a window however you want, move it around. This counts for AC windows and most of the Virindi windows. Some of them, like the actual Virindi tag window, this one doesn't follow rules for some reason. But anyway, so basically once you have something set up, you can come in here and go to capture, and this pops up down here, and you can say, hey, I'm going to capture it. I'm going to call it default, even though I don't want my screen to look like this default. Then it pops up and you can go to it. So if I click on default, it goes back to the way it is, which it's nothing. So here's the way I have it set up normally. Boom, very neat. I have it set up so that when I click the Virindi tool window itself goes away. This saves all window states. So the way I have this set up is pretty good. I've got my comps up here in the corner. I've got the Virindi mini-map here, which is pretty excellent. This is how I keep myself organized in dungeons I've never been in, dungeons that I visit a lot. Let me show you an example of Town Network. We'll go there. There we go, Town Network. So I go in here, and now you can see the Town Network dungeon, and how organized it is. You can also zoom out. You know, if you're out in the landscape, you might want to zoom out. You can zoom in. You can change it so there's labels. Obviously, those are really hard to read, but you can, boom, oh, where's the Samster portal? It's right there. It also tracks you, this tool, while you're running through a dungeon, making things easier. You can also, if you want to keep it, say, the orientation north, you can kind of drag it around a little bit, then it breaks the thing. You can just see your dot moving. And then if you want to get it back, you click on this guy, and it goes back to moving around your person. Here I've got, what is this thing called? Virindi Sense. So I've got it set up. I don't have very many things set up right now. But, you know, if something pops up, it pops up there, so it's always on. You know, so if a rare boss or whatever pops up while I'm running through Freebooter, it'll pop up on that thing, and you can click on here when it detects something and it picks it in the game. I've got my allegiance chat down here. Now, this is just a built-in feature of Asheron's Call, but I have this filtered so it's just allegiance, tells, regular chat, and fellowship. So all of my important, you know, maybe I'm in a dungeon fighting and it's frantic and I'm getting beat up on a lot. The text always stays here. So if somebody says something important like, hey, we need to go, after this fight, we need to go somewhere, it'll stay in this window and not disappear. And then all of the messages that do disappear that I still want to see, and you technically can't get rid of this window, so it has to be on there in some aspect, is right here. So, you know, if I'm buffing or, you know, spell words pop up there. If a mob hits me, it'll pop up there if I hit a mob, if he resists. Sometimes it's hard to follow, so you can definitely resize this one. But I like it there. I find it convenient because you don't need to look at those messages that much. And then if you do, if something happens, you need to see it again, you just drag it out, boom. Scroll up and down, look for it, then go back to the Virindi window tool, and boom, pops right back into place. I've got my inventory nice and big. I've got the double hotkeys here, and then all of my other options there. Luminance per hour. This isn't super great for this guy because he's level T75, but you can change this. This is the status HUD. You can change that around, add whatever values you want. So if you're on like a regular character that hasn't hit 275 yet, you can put it in just regular experience there. But yeah, that's the video on that. You can come in here and delete old profiles too, so I'll delete that default. I've got another one set up for Mule's small window, so I normally run, or not normally, but I run 7 accounts, and I'll go on 2 every once in a while. And those windows have to be really tiny because I don't have that much, you know, room on the screen. So that shrinks them down to this. I obviously shrink the actual AC window down and keep it under windowed mode. Oh boy, how am I going to find this now? Oh, there we go. And then boom. So this is the thing too, like if you accidentally, in the midst of combat, oh, I swung this out there and, things are going crazy, you just boom, pop it, and everything snaps back to place. Alright, there you go. Enjoy.